Welcome to the Who Cares News, where we cite, we overcomplicate and completely baffle anyone looking for a plausible explanation for anything important. Here to lead this entangled mess is your K9 host GradFawkes.
Thanks, co-pilot. I'm sure the audience is very confident in our ability to deliver the unbreaking headline, or shall I call you Genevieve? I heard our writer finally gave you a name.
Yes, however, he's acting like a big baby because he says my name has too many letters.
But he's a writer.
Yes, I know. Ironic, isn't it? Tonight, Jeff Bezos wins Goldman's award for creating the first self-destructing billion-dollar dumpster. New York is rolling out a pied-à-terre tax. A string of scientists are missing. Kamala Harris is cited for disapproving of Trump again still.
Yeah, that is not news.
And lastly, a quick review of this month's cinematic victims.
All this and more coming up after a message from our sponsor.
Good evening, forest creatures. Fear Mongrel here with your daily reminder that the planet is quietly peeling itself apart like a discount banana. According to a recent MSN report, a 3,000-mile crack is tearing East Africa apart from Djibouti to Mozambique. Scientists say it may one day form a brand new ocean, which is great news if you've always wanted beachfront property, but terrible news if you prefer your continents in one piece. Now I know what you're thinking. Fair Mongrel, what do I do if my landmass suddenly decides it's had enough of my nonsense and begins drifting away at 2 centimeters a year? And that's why I'm proud, no, obligated, to introduce the Fear Mongrel Collapsible Land Bridge Survival Kit and TM. This state-of-the-art, pocket-sized miracle includes a foldable emergency land bridge rated for up to 1 continental separation, a tectonic gap ladder for when the ground politely opens beneath you, and, of course, my best-selling pamphlet, So Your Continent is Leaving You, a guide to emotional closure. Because, let's be honest, when the Earth decides to unzip itself like a cheap suitcase, you unprepared forest creatures will be standing there with your paws in your pockets, wishing you'd invested in basic geological preparedness. But not you. No, not if you act now. Supplies are limited, mostly because I made them out of recycled satellite dishes and 1 canoe. And remember, volcanic activity is already bubbling along the rift, hot springs are steaming, and the crust is thinning faster than my patience with mammals who ignore basic survival retail opportunities. So don't wait for the new...
So how do you like the new lens crappers, and is the view better? I want to know from my audience. Oh, yeah.
I don't think that was the right commercial.
Yes, the editor is a bit rebellious, I'm afraid.
Yes, true story. Moving on. Tonight's top story, Jeff Bezos successfully lands a booster, but manages to yeet a billion-dollar satellite into the cosmic dumpster. Insurance adjusters everywhere are now huddled in a panic circle, whispering, "Please, God, not another billionaire science fair project."
Because remember, folks, when Bezos blows up a satellite, you help pay for it. Congratulations, you're now an involuntary space investor.
And no, you don't get stock options. You get higher premiums and a pamphlet about shared responsibility.
Shared responsibility? I don't see Bezos sharing shit, and there is nothing in space that will ever benefit this life. Why am I paying for Bezos's orbital Etch-a-Sketch to crash and burn like a drunk pigeon?
So next time your premium jumps, just remember, somewhere out there, a billionaire's space toy is exploding in slow motion, and you bought the fireworks.
This has been your daily reminder that insurance and gravity are the only 2 constants in the universe.
New York City's new mayor, Zohran Mamdani, is rolling out a pied-à-terre tax on second homes over $5 million. Supporters say will raise much-needed revenue, critics call gimmicky and economically risky.
Oh yes, finally, a tax specifically designed for people who own a $7 million apartment they visit twice a year to water a single succulent.
Truly, the oppressed class of absentee penthouse collectors will rise.
Economists note that wealthy residents rarely flee over modest taxes,
But real estate groups warn this one will eliminate thousands of construction jobs.
which is interesting because that means we're supposed to believe that 8 billionaires were single-handedly holding up the entire housing industry.
Look, if a 0.5% tax on your third home destabilizes the economy, then the model's broken at the core.
Maybe if the economy wasn't a falsely inflated housing scheme designed to make Hody pay for corporate property gains, while increasing demand due to the homeless that were put there because of the system designed to accommodate.
Fox News reports that Amy Eskridge, a 34-year-old Huntsville researcher, has been cited as the 11th case in a string of scientists who died or disappeared under unusual circumstances, many tied to US military, nuclear, and aerospace research, prompting federal review and renewed public speculation.
Yeah, well, ironic how the news picks the worst subjects to call out a president who made brutal decisions because the stakes were national survival, not some weekend mystery podcast plotline.
For context, officials still say no verified link exists between these cases, but the timing, the fields, and the headlines make it feel like the universe is running a limited-budget thriller with too many subplots.
Exactly. If this were fiction, the editor would have cut half these characters and told the conspiracy theorists to stop speed running the script.
Kamala Harris criticized President Donald Trump for the surge in gas prices, calling it a war of choice, according to reporting from Fox News Digital, April 2026. Her remarks were delivered in North Carolina, in front of a gas station price board, as covered in the same Fox News Digital report.
And in a plot twist worthy of a sitcom rerun, gas prices dropped 11% the same day. Apparently even the oil market didn't want to be part of the argument. Economists call it market volatility. We call it the nation's first documented case of pump price comedic timing.
Tonight's celebrity spoiler alert. Hollywood is melting down again this time because Chris Hemsworth might swing a hammer one more time before Marvel remembers what a plot is. Meanwhile, Lotta fans are rioting in the streets because Henry Cavill breathed near a leather tunic, and suddenly, he's Aragorn now. 2. And in breaking nostalgia bait news, Folklore is back, soaring majestically into a reboot nobody asked for but everyone will ironically watch. 3. Experts say these announcements will change cinema forever, which is Hollywood code for we ran out of ideas in 2014.
And the new wave of live-action reimaginings. Hollywood keeps summoning old ghosts like they lost a bet with nostalgia. The studio promises a bold new vision, which is code for we hope you're so old you forgot the original was already perfect.
Yeah, because nothing says cinema progress like rebooting a reboot of a reboot.
At this point, Fantasia has better job security than half the industry.
To be fair, the visuals are impressive, the creature work is polished, and the score tries very hard to convince you you're having emotions. But the script feels like it was written by an AI that only trained on movie trailers and childhood trauma.
So basically it's modern, cinema, shiny, loud and emotionally available in the same way a malfunctioning Roomba is. It bumps into you, apologizes and keeps going.
Reminds me of an MSN video where an eagle was swooping down on a sloth. The sloth barely reacted, almost like it was annoyed the eagle didn't schedule the attack.
That's sociology in practice.
Even the animals are overbooked. The sloth basically said, "Do you mind coming back where you actually written it to the script?"
That's the energy I want in my life. Experts say sloths rely on stillness as a defense mechanism. Moral of the news, the universe keeps perfect records even when people don't. Actions accrue interest, consequences compound, and denial is not a deductible. Sleep well knowing gravity and accountability never miss payroll. And honestly, that's way scarier.
That's all for today's broadcast of the Who Cares News. Give those buttons a tappy poo and join us on an adventure through the eyes of the modern Gnostic.
May your expansion be eternal and a positive addition to the universe.